You know, nowadays somehow, sadly, tarbiyah, development, has become as if it's recommended at the individual level or at a collective level. As if it is what? The whole subject, the whole topic, the whole category is as if it is recommended. It's in the category of recommendation. Yeah? This understanding is fundamentally flawed. This understanding is fundamentally what? Flawed. The reason behind that is because without tarbiyah of these matters, one may not even have what? Iman. One may not even have Iman, let alone ibadah and tawheed. People, when they talk about tarbiyah or tazkiyah, they only focus on ikhlas. They only focus on what? Ikhlas. It just takes 10 minutes, maximum half an hour to talk about it before the class, or as a topic in a lecture or in a class, maybe an hour. But that's it. As if the whole inner deeds, fundamental deeds, is only and nothing but ikhlas. And as if the whole deen is fundamentally, it's iman, it's tawheed, it's ibadah, its character, its acceptance of deeds, its whole fundamentally is dependent on ikhlas and nothing else. It doesn't embed tawakkul, it doesn't embed khawf of Allah, it doesn't embed raja, hope, it doesn't embed honor, it doesn't embed forgiveness, it doesn't embed grace of Allah, it doesn't embed any of those matters, it only embeds ikhlas. This is problematic. This understanding is very shallow, very narrow, very hollow. That's why you find whenever there is a class on tarbiyah, tullabul ilm, students of knowledge, tend to belittle, let alone the mass, and let alone the people across the board, or Muslims across the board, who are suffering in regards to tarbiyah of their nafs and self, and the soul and the heart and the subconscious mind and the conscious mind, and the lack of tarbiyah in character and personality and behavior. Even then, lack of character when it comes to bird's eye view, farsightedness, ambitions, goals and missions, visions, lack of tarbiyah therein. Because lack of tarbiyah, if the lack of tarbiyah in the nafs, then obviously there will be lack of tarbiyah in the output and the outcome of results and fruits. So this topic, it's so much sidelined from the Islamic discourse or the Muslim discourse. It's so much sidelined that it is labeled as recommended, or one-off lecture, or one-off even conference, or one-off even dars. Is never left at, it's a subject that needs to be studied thoroughly, comprehensively. It's a subject that needs to be developed amongst ourselves. It's a subject that is fixed and yet flexible, or also flexible. It's a subject that is personal but yet collective. It's local but yet is global. It's a subject that needs to be developed and empowered and studied regularly and visited constantly. It's a subject that everyone's in need of. It doesn't matter how high they are in terms of position of authority or power, or how low they are in terms of worship, or how great they are in terms of the tarbiyah of themselves and the tazkiyah of their hearts and minds. So this subject, it is not recommended. That's the first thing we need to change and transform our mindsets. This subject is not recommended. This subject is what is at a fundamental level. It's at the obligatory level. It's also at the recommended level. He has all the three levels, just like fiqh, just like every other aspect of the deen of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This subject also has a fundamental level, obligatory level, and also a recommended level. The vast majority of this subject is at the level of fundamental and obligation. It is not at the level of recommendation. So ikhlas, it's not the recommended level of what? Recommendation at the level of what? Fundamental and obligatory. Tawakkul, khawf, raja, izzah, attaining the forgiveness of Allah, attaining His mercy, attaining honor, being saved from Jahannam, entering into Jannah. All of these are in fundamental level and obligatory level. They are not in the category of recommended. Not being punished while you are dying, not being punished in the grave, not being punished on the Qiyamah day. All of these are which level?
Obligatory.
Fundamental or obligatory. They're not in the recommended. So why is it we generalize this whole subject in the category of recommendation? And the worst thing is that Tullabul Ilm have that mindset. They themselves don't even give emphasis to the subject when it comes to teaching their own students or teaching themselves or attending these classes and mastering this subject. If you don't know something, obviously you can't pass it on, let alone develop other people, let alone empower other people, let alone give them tarbiyah and tazkiyah, iman and tawheed and ibadah and character and personality and behavior and then vision and then mission and then goals and purposes, let alone. So this subject must be given emphasis to, and we have to shift our minds from recommendation, the mindset we have towards the subject from recommendation to fundamental obligation.